Good morning. There's no love talk today. This is going to be an extremely short stream. Maybe like I don't know how long. I can't pretend to know how long because I'm not good at telling time or keeping time or estimating time, the amount of time it'll take me to unravel my thoughts, the amount of time it'll take me to get through any particular activity. I can guarantee it'll be less than 30 minutes, maybe even less than 10. Yeah. Mostly I'm feeling a lot of emotions again. So, emotions are man. Sorry. Emotions really do know how to derail me. I blame my emotions, but I'm trying. I'm doing what I can, but yeah, I feel a lot of things. And it's definitely multifold. Some of the emotions have an origin that's from within, but all of the emotions are only sparked by other people. Isn't that funny? I think when I'm alone, I can daydream. When I'm alone, I can disassociate. I can make choices about what I'm going to focus my attention on, my awareness. But the brutal truth, and yeah, is that real people will divert your attention. They will give you information that you don't need. And I'm jealous. I'm jealous of those out there who have the ability to let it wash off and to just ignore, right? Like you'll notice in the past couple streams especially, like there's definitely been moments where a a a a, a, a comment in the chat just drives me insane. And I have a very emotional response because I'm still struggling with that ability to like let things wash off. The good news is the less familiar the source of the comment, the more I'm able to wash it away, right? If it's just, if it's just some mean comment on YouTube from a username I don't recognize, I like it and then I mute it. No, the difficulty comes for me from people who hang around, even saying that they care. They say they care about you. And I realize, man, okay, by the way, a warning. This is going to be a triggering talk. If you're not here for Menahera cat, if you're not here for a mentally unhealthy cat, leave. Just go. Like, why are you here? But if you are here, that's what you're gonna get tonight. I realize that, like, boy, there's like an entitlement on both sides of this streaming thing. On the one hand, I am the one subjecting myself to scrutiny. I'm the one who decided to stream every day, particularly to talk about the things that I talk about, including my life. I'm the one who decided to be vulnerable and open up. Um, and yet, I've come to resent not the attention, but the result of the attention, right? I chose to be, to like, make it, like, to go live right now, to stream this publicly, right? I made that choice. But, I've come to resent the result that this attention brings, which is that over time, other people, it's almost as if under the guise of saying that they care, they start to feel a type of ownership. They start to feel uh entitled to some sort of control over me, especially the things I say and the things I feel, the emotions I express. And it's suffocating. And it doesn't have to be. Like, the reason it's suffocating is because of me. I should be able to ignore it, but I've come to resent the words that linger in my mind after the fact. Man, I'm over it. I don't want to read another word or listen to another piece of advice or opinions about what I'm supposed to say or how I'm supposed to feel. Like, what the fuck? It's the weirdest thing because it's like, extremely entitled for a streamer, myself, to be like, oh yeah, to enjoy the fruits of having attention and then to complain about, feedback, criticism, opinions, but it's constant, it's incessant. It's I feel gaslit. I'm not saying that's the same thing. I know words have meaning, so it's not the same thing exactly. But what I mean is, like, if I say, "Manta, I strongly have a desire to end this shit," right? I get hit with a you know uh, a variety of responses, but it's more like, yeah, a flood of, no, cat, don't say that, or you don't really think that, or remember where you've been and how far you've come, or remember what, look at all the people that are here for you, because we're here. You owe us something, right? You owe us not to feel the way you feel, because, if we're gonna support you, you can't feel your feelings. That's what it feels like. It's fucking annoying. It's more than annoying. It's not even annoying. I think annoying would be better. If it were annoying, then I could, like, uh, brush it aside, but it's more like I don't know, it's fracturing me further, man. I dislike, like, it's bad enough to have the voice of myself in my own head with my own opinions and, you know, feelings and clouded judgment or whatever. But then it's like I feel like I'm not even allowed the space to think or feel without someone telling me, you know, how I ought to present myself, or what I ought to feel or not feel, what I can say or not say. And then even worse than that is the patronizing that I get, where it's like, um I'm not allowed to just I'm not allowed to feel a feeling, express it, and move on, because, and this is my fault. It's because I've opened myself up to scrutiny. I've involved another party, right? Cuz you're here now, right? You become part of it. And so there's that entitlement again of, like, oh, you're struggling, cat, but you're doing so well. And it's just like, I don't even get the space to decide for myself how I feel about an event or how I feel about my feelings, right? Because someone else has to tell me that I should feel this or do that, or I should yeah. Fuck. I'm just sick of it, man. Like, you know? I man, I'm not cut out for this. I'm not cut out for streaming or relationships. I'm not cut out for community. I'm pretty sure that if I was born at a different time, I definitely would have been exiled or killed, excommunicated, lobotomized, something, because yeah, for the life of me, I can't understand or tolerate other people's directives towards me. I wanna, I wanna just, yeah, I wanna exist and um keep doing my best. But I feel I'm allowed to have bad days. I'm not just allowed, like, it's just reality. No amount of you telling me, oh, cat, look at how far you've come, makes me want to hang myself any less, right? But you saying it actually makes me want to hang myself more because I despise the fact that I can't even be alone with my thoughts anymore. I go on my walks and I just want to think about, you know, maybe I want to think about nature. Maybe I want to think about my future. Maybe I want to plan what I'm going to eat for dinner. But instead, it's like I just have this endless queue of other people's words and opinions and and yeah, and it's like, if it's relationships that you choose, or if it's relationships that you have to have, right? Like, so if it's your honey or your sweetie, that's one thing, right? You came home and your wife complained because you forgot to take out the trash. You might have the sound of her nagging in your mind even after the fact. Although I suspect that a lot of people are very good at blocking that out. But it makes sense to ruminate. But like, yeah, by opening yourself up to scrutiny and opening yourself up to a lot of comments, it's just the volume of that kind of nagging is so much, it's so much more. And then I have trouble figuring out and reminding myself of how much importance it has. The truth is it has no importance. It has no importance at all. It really doesn't, right? It only has the importance that I give it. Um and yeah, I'm upset with myself because I just want to be like, I want to have my cake and eat it too, okay? Now, incel, don't come here saying what you want to say. I know what you want to say. That's not what I mean. I mean it as the you know, as like the saying, as the cliche. I wanna I wanna be able to do whatever the fuck love talk is, and I don't want to listen to advice, and I don't want to obey, and I don't want to change, and I don't want to warp myself to try to be like everyone else or to try to please, the crowd because the crowd is here, right? I'm not holding a gun to your head. If you don't want to be here, you don't have to be here. I didn't even lock the basement. You are free to leave at any time. So yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I'm thinking about this today. I keep wanting to quit streaming, and it's not because I dislike streaming. It's because uh, I dislike those feelings that I get from negative what do you call it? Uh from like miscommunication or bad communication, right? From social interactions. Yeah. Yeah. I thought I would like it more cuz there would be space, right? Like I'm like, streaming is perfect cuz it's more of like you could be less alone, but you don't have to take on, you know, so much of the burden and difficulty of a personal relationship. But I just realized, everything is a trade-off, and there are other costs and benefits in this scenario. Anyway, I'm whining. I had a good nap. I had a good nap a little while ago. But and today and yesterday have still been better than many other days before, but today was a little bit bad because um I remembered again how much my life sucks. And it sucks too because, we kind of started having this conversation yesterday that uh was a big part of this spiral, right? Um and I realized, like, if I was born in a third world country without the education and the information and the access and the convenience, right? I can't say that my life would be objectively better. It should be objectively worse by a lot of measures. But at the same time, the things that I would think about and the issues that I would deal with would be completely different, right? So I can imagine for a moment, like, man, how it must feel to not be able to go to school because you have to walk really far to access clean water and, gather water for your family or whatever. I want to talk more about that, but I really don't care about. The problem is I don't care about the boring opinions that people have all the time. Wah 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 wah. What I find the argument that I'm interested in lately is about more about context, right? Um, so I'm like learning more about the history and politics of nations of the world. And it's interesting too because I think the freedom and relative safety, in air quotes, of, the first world, I think it's pretty unique. It's pretty unique. Different periods of time had different issues, especially like pre-industrialization and pre, I don't know what the words are, but certain types of weapons really changed the game, right? Access to weapons. But yeah. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that, like, I understand that, man, I'm fucking entitled and I take a lot for granted because all things considered, my life could objectively be a lot worse, and I may not even have the space or capacity to compare it to someone else to think about this kind of thing. But it doesn't mean I'm not suffering in my own way. Everywhere you go, there you are. Yada yada, It's no amount of no amount of gawking at people who are suffering a worse plight can erase my own pain. I think for in a moment, it might give me like an aha, like, okay, quit your bitching. It's not that bad. At least you didn't get graped today. At least you can go for a walk without fear of being graped and kidnapped. Although sometimes I still fear that, but it's not realistic. No, there's too many. I feel like there are too many cameras. I don't know who would take the risk. uh, but Yeah, man. Anyway, I don't have waifus for you today, so I'm sorry. I don't have anime either, so I'm also sorry. I'm enjoying reading more about probability and randomness as well, but I won't go into it because I don't feel like it. I will give you a quote and then I will leave. Didn't read the chat today. I just can't. I can't muster up the fucks to give. which is hypocritical, right? Because I claim that I love you so much, and I genuinely do. I love the Moonies as much as I'm capable of loving someone. But the reality is that amount is inadequate. The amount of love that I have to give is not, it doesn't measure up to any normal person's uh, estimation of what love actually looks like. But for me, this is as good as it's gonna get. It's better than it's ever gonna get. By the way, I have a dead bedroom with Max. Okay, here's the quote. You can't become who you want to be and continue doing what you've always done. Taken from my father on Twitter or X. I like this quote a lot. It's very true. And thought about it today again. Because on the one hand, I fucking hate my life. I hate myself. I hate my life. I hate who I am. I hate the choices, the dumb choices that I've made and that I continue to make. Man, I'm so fucking stupid. It's actually insane. And there's no pill I can take that's gonna reverse that or change that in an instant, right? So the only way for me, the only way that I can realistically, it's not the only way. The most realistic path to change for me is going to be gradual change. Because I didn't become this way overnight. So I shouldn't, I don't know if I should expect to be able to radically change overnight. But at the same time, even though I am making tiny progress and, making new decisions, trying to do other things and make other choices, every once in a while, I realize I'm not there yet, and then I get very sad. I want to be better at living. I don't necessarily want to be a better person because I don't know what the fuck that means, but I want to get better at living life and like I wanna not want to kill myself so much. Like that would be pretty cool. I think that would be pretty awesome to not want to, end my life so frequently. Man, it really puts a damper on things. Anyway, uh, so one day at a time, with like little baby steps, I work into a direction that's different from this one. It's just sometimes I don't even know if that direction is right because there are almost infinite possibilities, even though not all of the possibilities are equally as likely. Like I could gamble on stake and become a millionaire, or I could get hit by a car. And getting hit by a car is probably more likely because I don't gamble. But anyway, that's enough. That's enough of this. Bye. The stream is over. I love you. I'm sorry. Maybe tomorrow will be better. Can't make any promises though. I'm not gonna harm myself. Please don't report me, but if you want to, I don't know, do whatever you want. I'm not gonna harm myself or anything. I'm just expressing how I actually feel, man. No, I don't want to pretend, right? I don't want to pretend. And let's be honest, there are people way better than me in this world. Way more important, way more loved, way more talented, way more gifted who have ended themselves. So who the hell cares if I do? Like, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I'm not going to, but I'm just saying it wouldn't really matter. I love you. Bye.